Good morning. Now I'm going to say good morning again, and you're going to say good morning as if you're also saying thank you. Good morning. Welcome to worship at the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Shelter Rock. Whether you're here with us in the worship room, whether you're watching from online, whether you're viewing at a later date on our YouTube channel, please know that you are welcome in this community. You are welcome here. I'm David Carl Olson. I serve this congregation along with Reverend Israel Buffardi and this year's student minister, there she is, Madison Colquette, all of us in the care of our lead minister, the Reverend Dr. Natalie Fenimore. As people considering the worth of our own lives and of creating a space proclaiming worthship of each other's lives and of the coming together of one another, we gather. We notice who's in the room. We pay attention to who might not be here. We wonder who might need a call, who might want an invitation for tea, right? We pay some special attention as the Hebrew Bible encourages us to think of the widow, the orphan, the immigrant. We pursue solidarity and equity and justice by being here, and we lean in to one another. In times that may be difficult, we find solace with each other. We find comfort with one another. We find encouragement with one another. And hopefully we listen to one another's stories. This weekend we've been especially attentive to the notion of being in respectful relationships in this community, and it's my joy to introduce our Congregational Vice President, Amy Vela Ripley, to share the leadership at this pulpit.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You primed them. Welcome to worship here at the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Shelter Rock. Whether you are here in, I'm sorry, I'm saying your stuff all over again.
Okay.
Apologies.
I could have turned the page. I didn't.
I used to do acting. I should know how to find my own name, but on the script. Okay. It starts with good morning. It also, so that's good, and a welcome. So the Board of Trustees invites you into the fuller life of this congregation. Let that hang in the room for a second. Invitation, like a true invitation to that, including an opportunity during our Sunday cafe to continue a conversation about this community as a resource when we may lean in to one another to meet this moment together. We talked about that yesterday for those who are here, and I think it was very comforting to me personally and to others in the room. So again, invite you there. After our lunch, please join us in the worship room, so back in here, to hear Alfonso Horn and the Gotham Kings take us on a journey of sound that runs the gamut of jazz, including rags, stomps, shouts, and funk. And when I read those, I said, I don't know what all of that is, but it sounds fun. Tickets for $10 or $25 per family are available at the door. This fourth Friday, we will present a special Unity Gospel concert with the Manhasset Great Neck EOC and the North Shore branch of the NAACP. Pastor Travis T. Haynes of the Friends Church in Roslyn will speak. Dinner is at 6 and the concert will begin at 7. And next Sunday, our special guest preacher during worship will be the Reverend Dr. Sophia Betancourt. Did I say it? Betancourt. I knew I was going to mess that one up.
It's okay.
The president of the Unitarian Universalist Association. So please join us.
Come early to get a good seat.
Yes, that will be a great one for sure. At Shelter Rock, we aspire to be a loving religious community where we can grow spiritually and build a more just and joyful world. You are welcome to accompany us on this journey. Thank you.
You're going to stay up here, and I'm going to invite Paul and Jill to join us. Attend these words of the Reverend Dr. Matthew V. Johnson. For 5,000 years or more than 15,000 generations, human beings have been invoking spiritual power. My predecessors and yours have gathered together to make sense of their lives and their place in the cosmos. And they have spoken aloud and invited what they conceived as sacred and powerful to be with them.
They called upon the spirits of air and earth, fire and water. They called the bear and deer. They asked for the raven to protect them. They pleaded for the heroes of the old to slay the monsters of their fears. They sang songs they learned from their grandparents and moved in the appointed ways or in ways that were new, but felt like the right thing to do.
And they imputed power to these spirits and to the memories of those heroes. They called them gods, and they were invoked. Vishnu and Kali, Elohim, Odin, and 100 million others.
Every group of people, everywhere, they gathered to make sense of their lives and to make sense of their place in the cosmos, and they called these spirits to be present to them. and so do we.
So do we. We gather this morning to make sense of ourselves and the universe in which we live as best as we are able. And we call ourselves to worship together, and we invoke the power and wonder of life itself, that to which all those spirits of animals and memories of heroes pointed the way.
We invoke that power, which is, we know, always around, always with us, but which we sometimes forget about. We forget that we are part of the whole of creation. We forget that we are stardust. We forget that we are capable of miracles, first among them, that we can love.
We forget these things, so we invoke the power of existence so that we can remember, so that we can lift our eyes and open our ears to the true and the beautiful.
For 5,000 years or more, we have done this. In many tongues and in many ways, we have done this. And so we continue the ancient tradition in our way and in our time. So let us, later Charles, and worship together.
Sometimes you get to talk to it a little bit. The laws of physics were working before. Well, there we go. Let us rise in body and spirit and sing our opening song, Gather the Spirit, number 347 in the gray hymnal. The lyrics will be projected on the screens. Take a nice deep breath. And let it out, slowly, slowly, slowly. Take a breath to the side for all the people you move with. Let it out easy, easy. Take a breath for everything that is, earth to sky. And let it out. And so equipped, let us make a promise to one another of the community we affirm to be, our words and our song of affirmation. Please join me. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve human need. This do we affirm and covenant with each other. From all that dwell below the skies, let songs of faith and hope arise. Let peace, goodwill on earth be sung through every land, by every tongue. Please be seated. Our Respectful Relationships team is going to lead us in a wonderful reading.
We have it in big print for me. Okay. There is ever something compelling and exhilarating about the glad surprise. The emphasis is upon glad. There are surprises that are shocking, startling, frightening, and bewildering. But the glad surprise is something different from all these. It carries with it the element of elation of life, of something over and beyond the surprise itself.
The experience itself comes at many levels. The simple joy that comes when one discovers that the balance in the bank is larger than the personal record indicated, and there's no error in accounting. The realization that one does not have their door key, the hour is late, and everyone is asleep, but someone very thoughtfully left the latch off just in case. The dreaded meeting at a conference to work out some problems of misunderstanding, and things are adjusted without the emotional lacerations anticipated. The report from the doctor's examination that all is well. When one was sure that the physical picture was very serious indeed, all of these surprises are glad.
There is deeper meaning in the concept of glad surprise. This meaning has to do with the very ground and foundation of hope about the nature of life itself. The manifestation of this quality in the world about us can best be witnessed in the coming of spring. It is ever a new thing, a glad surprise, the stirring of life at the end of winter. One day there seems to be no sign of life, and then almost overnight, swelling buds, delicate blooms, blades of grass, bugs, insects, it's all good. An entire world of newness everywhere. It is the glad surprise at the end of winter.
Often the same experience comes at the end of a long tunnel of tragedy and tribulation. It is as if someone stumbling in the darkness, having lost their way, finds that the spot at which they fall is the foot of a stairway that leads from darkness into light. It is the announcement that life cannot ultimately be conquered by death, that there is no road that is at last swallowed up in an ultimate darkness. that there is strength added when the labors increase, that multiplied peace matches multiplied trials, that life is bottomed by the glad surprise. And we will recite all together as soon as it's on. When we have exhausted
Our store of endurance, when our strength has failed, ere the day is half done, when we reach the end of our hoarded resources, divine full giving is only begun.
Luckiest minister in captivity. Thank you. Each Sunday we share an opportunity toward living our Each Sunday we share an opportunity toward living our Unitarian Universalist values in the world by our acts of generosity. This month our offerings provide support for the Littig House Community Center in Port Washington. Littig House is committed to engaging adults, youth, and seniors in a community network that strives to keep families strong, empowered, and connected through opportunities for leadership, self-sufficiency, asset building, and social activities. You are invited to give using the QR code that may be on your order of service, by using PayPal, by going to the donation page on our UUCSR website, or dropping your cash or check into the donation box out in the main lobby. Please be generous. I'll give you a second to do that. Let's sing From You I Receive, number 402 in the gray hymnal. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Good morning. So I was asked to say a few words on why I joined the Respectful Relationships team, RRT we call it, and what pivotal moments led me to desire this community. Before I get into that, I'll briefly summarize who the RRT is and what our hopes are for the congregation. In short, we were created to collaborate with the ministry team, to integrate the congregational covenant into congregational life. So we've begun offering and will continue to offer information and educational opportunities to help prevent and restore, rather than resolve, congregant relationships through open communication, active listening, and mutual consent in accordance with our covenant. So we've started this with a few Quest articles and a workshop yesterday on understanding empathy. March 21st to 23rd, we'll bring an outside consultant for a series of events, culminating in a worship service on the subject. Okay. So, what were the pivotal moments that got me on the path to want to understand and empathize with others? And to be honest, it started with a few near-death experiences and an out-of-body experience. And I don't recommend that. Don't go out of your way to take that route to experience empathy. But I have to say, I would not have shifted so dramatically in my view of life without letting go of the fear of death. It made me appreciate what there is right now at this moment. It freed me to die to live rather than live to die, or in other words, be more open to life and connection with others. From that point, I went on a journey that lasted almost 20 years. It's still ongoing for all of us. It's an ongoing journey, ongoing adventure. Mine's through meditation, chaplaincy, ministry, spiritual guidance, mentoring, silent retreats. Silence has taught me I am not my thoughts, as my out-of-body experience has taught me I am not my body. That's my personal experience. I realize I cannot control what goes on around me, but I can take full responsibility for my experience of what goes on around me. By realizing this, I am freer to take right action over reaction. So instead of reacting to something, I can take a moment to see what feelings arise and explore where that feeling is coming from. I can make a conscious rather than compulsive decision. So through the RRT, I want to share in our congregation my personal experiences. Our team wants to share our collective experiences and practice that have helped me to be in community. But at yesterday's workshop, those present shared their inner wisdom from their heart space, and we're all closer and better for it. I find that beautiful. In community, no one is above or below you. All have a unique and precious gift to give, which is simply the expression of their essence of themselves. E pluribus unum, or out of many one. The RRT would like to help take the collective aspirations of our congregational covenant and help make them live in us all so that our truer essence and best selves can shine forth. So, to end, as Hindus say in greeting, Namaste, which means I bow to you. We say we bow to your higher self, we bow to you. And as we learned yesterday, the South African Zulu say, Sawu bona, which means I see you, and by seeing you, I bring you into being. So, to you I say, Sawu bona and Namaste. Thank you.
Good morning, Shelter Rock. My name is Jill Marcus. Reverend David asked me to say a few words about what pivotal moments led me to join the Shelter Rock community 23 years ago and why I joined the Respectful Relationships team. I'll talk a bit about one pivotal moment in my life. It happened on September 11th, 2001. I worked in a building a few hundred feet from the World Trade Center and was there the morning of 9/11. When we returned to our building months later, it was still contaminated with debris and toxins. We were only told that a long time later. Many of my coworkers got sick, and some have died. I have several illnesses as a result of my exposure. Before 9/11, I was content doing meaningful work and was not aware of any tangible dangers to me or my loved ones or my friends. After 9/11, the world felt unsafe to me. Life became more precious. I began living in what I call a new normal. We all have our stories, we all do, and our histories that walk beside us in our lives. How we carry those histories matters. Many years ago, I was drawn to Shelter Rock because I felt there was a place here for me to be my authentic self. I wanted to be in a safe place with like-minded people who share my values, people who look out for one another, care about one another's health, people who care about social justice, the environment, and doing right. And we have a great choir, too. In my time at Shelter Rock, I have been and still am on several committees and groups. I want to turn my values into action and make a difference about issues that I care about. And I know that the members of this congregation do too. I see the Respectful Relationships team as a group of members who want to help us communicate better, show up better for one another, and work better together. I have always believed that people working together can do so much more than a person walking alone, the power of synergy. The RRT is another tool to help us live into our beloved community. As Paul said, we'll be bringing workshops, programs, films, and discussions for all of us to enjoy and learn from. I'm excited about our work together. We look forward to hearing from all of you who have ideas to share with your Respectful Relationships team. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'd like to call your attention to a glad surprise in my life, in my heart. Members of the Unitarian Universalist congregation in Flint, Michigan, ran and supported a scholarship program in Beecher, a neighborhood of extreme challenge. Almost no one in that working-class community had gone to college. Indeed, before the downsizing of General Motors, one could have a pretty comfortable living without a college education in Flint. But as the good union jobs began to disappear, the sense that a college degree might be necessary for a new generation led to the creation of a program that would accompany kids as they prepared to go to college. They were counseled about their application process, encouraged to believe that the sky's the limit as they were looking at various opportunities, and the program accompanied them into college to assure their success. One aspect of the program was to offer a chance for each applicant to engage in volunteer service for the community. And when I was serving in Flint, a delegation of high school seniors who had each contributed 400 hours of community service were sent on a trip to Ghana. When they returned, a leader of their delegation presented me with this stole, decorated in block prints. This symbol of the moon and stars is held to be a Muslim symbol for wisdom. When I wear this stole, I think of the rest those children found at the end of a day of work and study when they were able to look up into the sky and reflect on all they learned, to treasure the wisdom that had been handed down to them by their ancestors. Now, this symbol is an animist symbol. The crocodile is the mother who lifts her newly hatched offspring out of their nest by placing them into her fierce and frightening mouth, and then carries them to the reedy area in the river where they are released into the world. I considered the mother love of the committee who cared for the children they were mentoring, carrying them fiercely through their lives to realize their potential and to move boldly into the world. I'd like to invite you to come to the candle box as you will, and to place, as you place light into the box, I want you to think of the wisdom that you have received in your life. I want you to think of the fierce mother love that you have experienced. And as you take a candle and light it, I'm going to ask you to just whisper. Whisper the names of the people who have brought you wisdom. Whisper the name of a person who has given you fierce mother love. Please.
first, right?
Thank you so much. We live in a moment. What a silly thing to say. All of us at all times have lived in a moment. Yet here we are, blessed, as it were, to be the only people of all the people to inhabit this time, this place, to be given this opportunity to face this life together. Our Respectful Relationships team has been called together to provide educational opportunities for our congregation that we might promote an environment within this congregation based on respect and compassionate communications. And when there is occasional conflict, to help address that conflict again through compassionate and respectful communication. It's sometimes challenging to explain to people who Unitarian Universalists are, what it is that makes a congregation a Unitarian Universalist congregation. Sometimes people want to describe us according to our polity. We are a free church. People once said, free because we do not answer to any outside body or person. We don't have a council or a synod to whom we are accountable. We have no bishop. We recognize no pope. That's true, of course. But that describes not what we are, but what we are not. And if we describe ourselves only as holding congregational polity, which we do, it's not unique to us. Every Southern Baptist pledges to uphold congregational polity. Every 12-step group that I've been in asserts the independence of the group and the capacity of the group to come to its own group conscience. Sometimes we assert that we have no creed. Again, we are not alone in this. There are plenty of traditions that stress their non-creedal nature. There's no test of what one believes to be part of this congregation. But plenty of communities, like our near and dear cousins in the United Church of Christ or in ethical culture movement, they have no creedal test. But do we define ourselves by what we do not have? No. We say that we are a covenantal faith. We make promises to one another about how we will behave. We covenant with one another to freely explore our religious or theological or spiritual beliefs and to honor our diversity as a source of communal strength. That's what we say. That's what we say. We will work together to reach our highest potential as individuals and as a community. That's the promise that we made to one another. And so we are on a journey together, drawn by the moon and fed by the sun, to reach our highest potential. Melodies steal into my heart, we affirm. I do not know how melodies do it. There is something on our way which is about happenstance, something also about plan. What we know is what we have chosen. We are choosing to move together, one turn of the chair's wheel at a time, one knee crawl, one pitter-patter toddle, one footstep. We are on this journey together. We treasure our promises. I will not leave thee comfortless, the choir and William Byrd insisted, quoting that guy of old, Rabbi Jesus. We will not leave each other without comfort, consolation, courage. We will be with one another for as long as we live within our covenant, within our promise. Now, today is the birthday of Dr. W.E. Burghardt Du Bois, sociologist and scholar, publisher of the NAACP journal, The Crisis, leader of the struggle for civil rights in this country and decolonization throughout the African continent. During the witch hunts of the McCarthy period, he had some stern things to say about an administration in Washington, D.C., that claimed in an international forum that the United States had never promoted slavery. He resisted those alternative facts. This was just about the time when the State Department decided not to renew his U.S. passport. He was headed to Ghana to establish the Encyclopedia Africana, and we were making him a stateless person. You can imagine that there were ways he felt he might have been left comfortless. But no. A few friends showed up, 1,000 showed up at his 90th birthday party. 1,000 supporters of the old man at the Roosevelt Hotel. 1,000 showed up. And among all the glitterati that were around him, he directed his remarks at one person, the youngest person present. The most distinguished guest on this festive occasion is none other than my great-grandson, Arthur Edward McFarland II, who was born this last Christmas Day, he said. He has kindly consented to permit me to read to you a bit of advice which, as he remarked with a sigh of resignation, great-grandparents are supposed usually to inflict on the helpless young. This, then, is my word of advice. I'm using his words, I would say it slightly differently. As men go, I have had a reasonably happy and successful life. I have had enough to eat and drink, have been suitably clothed, and as you see, have had many friends. But the thing which has been the secret of whatever I have done is the fact that I have been able to earn a living by doing the work which I wanted to do, and that work was what the world needed done. I want to stress this. You will soon learn, my dear young man, that most human beings spend their lives doing work which they hate and work which the world does not need. It is therefore of prime importance that you learn early what you want to do, how far you are fit to do it, and whether or not the world needs this service. That's the question I want us to ponder, friends, as we think about our covenant with one another, as we act into our covenant with one another. Can we be a people who make our way in this congregation, finding something that we feel is meaningful? And is it something that the congregation finds useful? If we can, I believe that we will live into our promise as a community of joy for each other and usefulness in a challenging world. Let us be about this work, my friends, of discerning what it is that we want to do, of discerning what it is that the congregation needs us to do. And as we do this work, may we grow. May we grow in unity. May we grow in purpose. May we grow in joy. Let's be about this work, my friends. May we ever be peace, salam, shalom, ashe, ashe. Blessed be. I love you. Amen.
It is our hope to continue these conversations during the Sunday Cafe.
People who wish to participate in conversations with the three of us and Madison Colcat, is she still over there? Oh, there you are. Should sit at the tables with the green tablecloths. Now, if there is no green tablecloths, just the 4 tables in the back, right. Away from the food. All right.
And those who want to eat their meals in peace and quiet with their friends, please feel free to do so. No obligation.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask you as you are able, and consent is really important, but could you hold someone's hand? May I? We're in this together. Now, my thing is over there, so I have to go over here just for a second. But I want you to just listen to these good words from Dr. Du Bois. Whoops. Whoops. There we go. Now is the accepted time. Not tomorrow, not some more convenient season. It is today that our best work can be done, and not some future day or future year. It is today that we fit ourselves for the greater usefulness of tomorrow. Today is the seed time. Now are the hours of work, and tomorrow comes the harvest and the playtime. Blessed be. Our closing song, When I Am Frightened, there you go, also known as Then I May Learn, by Shelley Jackson Dunham. When this was first published, a hymnologist, I guess, of Unitarian Universalism said, impossible. There's never been a song that expressed that Unitarians were ever fearful or angry, but here it is. So let's sing it with truth. Please rise in body and spirit, and we'll sing. We extinguish the flame in this chalice, but we cannot distinguish the light of truth, the warmth of community, nor the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please be seated.